going to talk about it. So, hey y'all, it's Necey Dixon. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, y'all, welcome back. Clack, clack. Specifically, y'all, if y'all came from my last two lives, if you've been hanging on, okay, I call this a triathlon. If you have been hanging on from part one, you've been around since Put a Ring on It, let me know in the comments. Let me know if y'all been running this marathon with me, because I was wondering if I'm going to end up losing my voice at the end of this. So if you've been around since Put a Ring on It, put something in the comments and let me know. Shout out to you for hanging around. And like I like to say, I don't come around often, but when I do, it be about for 3 hours. Back to back. And on top of that, I told y'all before, hey, okay. I told y'all before that I'm trying to finish before the damn NBA finals come on. Okay. What's going on with the screen? Sweetlam says there's something going on with the screen. Y'all let me know if the screen is okay. Rolling on the reviews. We've been rolling on the reviews. We've been rolling on the reviews. Okay, we good. All right. So for today, y'all, let's start. And I say this every week like it's going to change, but I think we ought to go ahead and start with Love and Marriage DC first, and then we can jump into Love and Marriage Huntsville, and we can talk about old girl and her cousin. Nafisa's daughter said she got Boston. Yeah, I'm kind of nervous. I'm actually going up for the Celtics. I just read a comment. I'm going up for the Warriors. I'm sorry. I'm rooting for the Warriors tonight. Okay, hopefully they don't deter y'all from watching the video. But I'm going up for the Warriors tonight if Draymond gets some act right. Okay, if he does. And yeah, the video goes in and out with the blurriness because the Wi-Fi connects, then it doesn't. I'm trying to figure out if I want a new streaming system. Okay. Like usually whenever I do the videos pre-recorded, they are crystal clear. And then when I come on StreamYard, it's giving, but y'all be hanging around. So y'all let me know. Y'all let me know if y'all know a better live streaming system than StreamYard, because StreamYard be playing. But okay, let's get into Love and Marriage DC. So the episode starts out with Chris and Monique. Now, last week, Chris and Monique had a big disagreement. Monique was looking for Chris to have an aha moment when they were in Africa. It was almost as if Monique was looking for a sign that the relationship was headed in the direction that she wanted it to be headed in. And I explained this to y'all last week, as I explained it on Ladies First panel. I think that Monique is going through a season of change. I think Monique has evolved since the 10 years that they have been together, which is fine. You should be changing, right? You're not the same person you were at 23 as you are at 33. You're not the same person at 27 as you were at 17. I get it. 45, 55, don't matter. 10 years, I think Monique has changed. And Monique has shown that to us. Monique, she was talking about how she likes to use essential oils and natural remedies for things. We met Monique when she was wearing weaves. Now Monique has faux locks. Monique was eating meat when we knew her last. Now she's vegan. Monique is changing. And I think that she wants Chris to change with her. I honestly think that Chris is probably the same person that he was 10 years ago when she first met him, which she was okay with 10 years ago. But today, she has an issue with. I also think that the issue is a bit deeper than that. Not only is Chris not changing, I think Monique has a very specific image of what she wants Chris to be like in this new day and age in a relationship. I think she has certain answers that she expects him to say, or wants him to say. I think that Monique is battling with something internally, and it's making her question if her and her husband are no longer compatible. And I feel like Monique is so desperate that she wants to give him the cheat code to love her for who she is today in 2022, which is why we are seeing it look like as if Monique is beating down on her husband. I think Monique is just really desperate for him to be the person who she wants him to be. And it's really hard to watch. I think that Chris can change and do the things that you want him to do, but I don't think that Chris is ever going to meet the image of this new person who you want in your mind. So I think that Monique is going to have to learn to change some of her expectations, and Chris is going to have to meet her where he can or where he chooses. And I'm not saying that this man can't change and there's nothing else he could do. I just think that you almost always make mistakes when you place expectations on someone, or even better, when you expect a you from somebody else. You're not going to get a you from other people because people don't know exactly what it is you're wanting, you're thinking. So, anyway, the producers talk to Monique and Chris one-on-one. And when they do, it basically just sounds like it's a misunderstanding. The producer is telling Chris that he needs to voice how he feels. He needs to make sure that that is shown. And Monique is talking to the producer lady as well. So finally, they both go back into the room. And when they do, Monique says, I don't want to feel like I'm putting you down. I don't want you to feel like you're not good enough or like I'm beating down on you. And she basically explains what I said. She just wants confirmation of certain things. And she starts crying. And I can tell she's crying because she's frustrated. Because I think that Monique feels like their relationship, well, not I think, she told us. Monique feels like that relationship is in a make or break moment. And I think she's scared that the sign may be that they shouldn't be together because he's not being who she needs him to be in 2022. So he picks her up off the ground. She's crying. They hug it out. He says that he's been working on those things. He's going to continue to work on those things. He told her that, hold on. I could hardly hear because my dog was doing all this extra stuff. But anyway, he's good now. So Chris tells her that he's been working on those things and he's going to continue to. His issue is that he thought because he was paying for bills, because she gets everything she wants, because he comes home every night, he thought everything that he was doing was good enough. And the reason why I'm saying it like that is because y'all, every single episode, Monique has told you that that's not good enough. So now that you've come to the realization that you have to do more, you're going to continue to do more. And Monique says it's not about comparing yourself to the worst. Y'all have had this conversation, I don't know how many times. I think, Monique, you've seen what this man can give. You're going to need to change your expectations or dip. I don't want you to leave. I don't want the family to be broken up, but I'd rather see you leave than be miserable, because that's what it's going to turn to. And then eventually it's going to end up turning to resentment because this man isn't being who you need him to be, which is nothing. It's nothing wrong with that, y'all. It's nothing wrong with that. Let me say this. From what we've seen on the show, it seems like Chris is more than willing to help with the kids. I don't know what goes on in their household, but to me, it feels like the things that Monique wants from Chris are very specific qualities that he does not have. She wants him to be romantic. She wants him to be emotional. Y'all, these are easy things he could do. But just because he makes a romantic gesture, that doesn't mean that he's a romantic man. That means that it's something that he's going to have to do over and over. Can y'all hear me? Are we good? It looks like it might be working now. Y'all let me know. Okay. Thank y'all. But I was just saying, I feel like she's asking for qualities in him that don't really match who he is at the core. And if he's not willing to change who he is at the core, you're going to have to leave. Or you're just going to have to accept that who he was 10 years ago is who he is going to be. Hated. But I just feel like it's going to turn to resentment. So now let's move on. Good to see them hug it out. Now we'll move on to Brittany and Jamie. Brittany, to remind y'all, she is Arena and Jamie's daughter. She's 30 years old. She invites Jamie over to the house to help her like build a nightstand or something like that. But really, the real reason why she invited him over was to talk to him about the way that he handled the situation with Jason last episode. So, last episode, Jason told his dad that he wanted to go to school and work for Apple. Jamie had an issue with that because he wanted him to be a DJ so he could get girls. And to me, y'all, I really feel like his dad was trying to avoid some of the challenges that Jason would have in real life by thinking that his coolness would outweigh his disability, which to me, I thought was fucked up. You have a son with disabilities, okay? You have a son with disabilities. Why is it okay for children or young adults, because this man is 21 years old, let's get this right. Why is it okay? Like majority of the time, young adults, your parents want you to go to school, get a degree, get a job. Jason, he's telling you that he wants to do all the things that people his age do, and you're telling him that you want him to be a damn DJ. And then you're trying to manipulate his motivation for becoming a DJ being about him getting girls. What, Jamie? I don't get it. Now, anyway, Brittany tells him that, you just need to accept the fact that we're adults now. You can't be telling us what to do with our lives, and I'm going to keep you in check when it comes to my little brother. So shout out to Brittany for stepping up to her dad and telling him, you're doing too much. He will be just fine. And he says, well, anything that I tell y'all is for your best interest, but it's what he believes is your best interest. How is it not in Jason's interest to be able to be an independent adult? It's like you just want him to be cool. You want him to be Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, the musicians with all the girls, and nobody really cared they were blind. It was cool that they were blind because they had so much talent. You don't want him to be just a regular blind adult. And to me, I feel like that has something to do with the way you feel about him being blind rather than the way he feels about having a disability. So that was weird to me, but we can see it for what it is. So now, y'all, in this second picture, we see Winter and Monique meet up for lunch. And when we see them meet up, you see Monique's face light up in messiness because she is going to repeat everything that Winter is telling her, only to go back to Ashley and tell Ashley exactly what Winter said, and then act like what she said was a misunderstanding. Do you see the glee in Monique's face? So when they meet up, Winter basically just tells Monique that she needs to give Chris a break, that the man is trying. Like, damn, get off the gas. And Winter says she feels like she might be beefing with not only Ashley, but she could be beefing with Arena as well because she feels like Arena is switching up. So they show a flashback clip of Arena saying something along the lines of, "Are you sure you're not a scammer?" Y'all tell me if I'm delusional, but I understand where Winter's coming from. Absolutely. Every joke is 10% truth. Okay. I believe that. Every joke stems from some sort of truth, okay? And for Arena to say, "Are you sure you're not a scammer?" It was almost as if she was trying to laugh at your expense while she knew that you and Ashley really weren't cool like that. So I absolutely understand where Winter's coming from when she says she feels like she can't trust Arena. I don't think that should have been brought back to Arena because I didn't think it was that deep. But of course it was. So then Winter talking to her friend Monique, because keep in mind the dynamics here, y'all. Winter is only friends with Monique. Winter, this is her first time meeting Ashley and Arena. So Winter is kikiing with her friend Monique, who brought her on the show. And she's telling her everything she wants to say. She's talking all the shit that she would normally talk in private. So she says to Monique, the streets talk. We know about Quick. We know about Quick. And when Winter said, we know about Quick, Monique was like, we do? So, y'all, let's be real. I'm sure Winter may or may not have heard a rumor about Quick. My whole case in point was that Monique knew that this part of the conversation was a Monique and Winter conversation. When Winter started talking about Jamie being for the streets and Jamie cheating, Monique knew that part of the conversation was a Monique and Winter conversation. You're not going to tell me that Monique actually believed that Winter said this in front of Arena and Ashley. You knew that, Monique. Now there was a part where I think Winter was being extra, but I absolutely understood where she was coming from. Monique, you didn't have to go answer that. Winter was going to keep it cute and classy in front of the girls at the lunch. And then she was going to come have all the smoke with you. And then the next time they tried her ass, she would have lit them up. Trust and believe, ain't nobody walking around with the side of their head shaved if they not at least a little bit crazy. Okay? Nobody. I knew Winter was about that smoke when I saw the side of her head shaved. And yes, she called him DJ Fun Size. She did. And that was too damn funny. So next, y'all, they go on from the lunch. Monique gets all this tea and she's super excited to go back and tell all the girls. But before that, y'all, we see the Tyler family and they're playing goal ball, which is a Paralympic sport where they have to put on like glasses that block their vision. And it's kind of like soccer, and they have a ball with a bell in it. So you're playing by sound. And I thought that it was very cool to see them play the game. I thought it was very cool to see a Black family navigate through disabilities on our TV screen. And it just seemed to be like a good scene. So finally, y'all, we get to Ashley's event because Ashley has a podcast as well. I don't know if it's a mommy podcast, but Ashley has a podcast. And this event is at a selfie museum. I thought it was really cute on the inside. I didn't see nothing wrong with it. But we're going to talk about the event space. So Ashley is making this speech to everyone. And she's like, I'm so proud of myself. Now I say whatever I want to say. I'm not a cup of tea. I'm a shot of vodka. So Ashley's speech, I didn't care for her speech. Y'all tell me if I'm tripping. But I didn't care for Ashley's speech. You have all those people there to support you. And it was almost as if she was only addressing the people who didn't like her. And to me, that lets me know that you often have to deal with people disliking you. You often have to deal with friction because of the things that come out of your mouth, rather than just saying thank you for all the people who were there. You address the people who didn't really care for you. Now, I get it, y'all. It's TV. Maybe she did address all the people who were there for her, but the speech to me was very telling of what you often run into traction with, which is drama and mess. So next, y'all, they start having a discussion about Winter without Winter there. So at this point in time, it's Ashley, Arena, and Monique. And Monique is running to them with the tea. Monique says, Winter says she felt ambushed. Now, this is where I'm going to call bullshit. I didn't think Winter was ambushed at all when it came to the lunch. Ashley was not lying when she said as soon as she sat down, Winter was asking her about her comment about not being a successful wife. Why are you a relationship expert with no relation? That did happen based on what we saw on the TV screen. So for Winter to say she felt ambushed, I do feel like Winter was trying to utilize the relationship that she had with Monique by making Monique feel bad for her. But I don't think she was being completely honest with the way things happen. I think that from her point of view, because she wasn't friends with Ashley and Arena, I think she felt like an outsider, which is why it was easy for her to feel attacked. But that's not what happened. So she said she felt like Arena straggled the fence, and Monique then tells the women, this is like, that's enough. I think Monique should have stopped there. Monique could have said she felt ambushed, period. Okay. And they could have discussed with her whether it was an ambush or not. But Monique then doubles down with the drama, being a motherfucking bone carrier. Okay. And she says, Winter said that she told you that she heard rumors. She said, we know about Quick. She said that she heard rumors about your husband too, Arena. And Arena and Ashley said, who? She said that to who? In front of who? And Monique was like, I thought she said that to y'all. Monique, you know good and damn well. You know good and damn well. This girl did not say that to Ashley and Arena. That was just your way to try to spin some mess back around the block. You was trying to send some mess back. You definitely were. So Winter then shows up. And when Winter shows up, the girls are arguing. The girls are screaming. Arena tries to calm the situation down by screaming at the top of her lungs. And I was like, what is this mess? And Monique says, I've never been in a more uncomfortable situation in my life. Somebody run the tapes. Monique, do we want to talk about this? You don't want to talk about that, okay? That had to be one of the most uncomfortable situations. You don't want to talk about this, okay? That little thing they was doing in the selfie museum arguing, that was recess. That was recess fights. That wasn't what you and Candace had going on throwing glass. So, girl, I just had to say, I don't know why you set yourself up like that. You definitely had a way to disassociate yourself from that event that we saw on TV 2 years ago, but we saw it. And that probably was the most chaotic thing that you've experienced in your life from what we saw. And it definitely wasn't what we saw in the selfie museum that made it into top 2 and not number 2. It was Real Housewives of Potomac, that other show, right? So anyway, Ashley, she's arguing with her and she's like, I never even heard of either one of your husbands. And I don't know what that jab was supposed to be. Is it better to have a no-name husband that she left, or is it better to have a cheating husband you stay with? I don't know. Y'all answer the question for me. But Arena, she's doing all this screaming. And Winter's like, I don't want to be here anyway. And Ashley says, then get the fuck out of my event. So, y'all, listen to this. This is where Winter had me effed up. Winter says, so you're going to victim shame me? You're going to victim shame me for being a victim in my 2 relationships? Winter, you're not a victim. You have bad judgment. You choose men poorly. Discernment. You have none. But then you call yourself an expert. The fact that she said, are you victim shaming me, made me feel like she was willing to manipulate the situation to try to make Ashley look bad. So I can call it on both sides. Ashley's full of shit. Winter is full of shit. Monique, full of shit. Did I do that? You did. Monique, you did do that. But it's cool. I mean, it's very much given that it's Monique's show because the ladies are all reporting back to Monique and they're trying to blend their friendship that they all have with Monique because Monique is the mutual friend. So This part is funny. We got to talk about it. Winter says, I don't want to be here anyway. This is at a ghetto. Yes. What in the ghetto, Gala? This is some type of ghetto selfie station. Like, this ain't even a real event. And the production team is so messy, y'all, that whenever Winter was escorted out of the event, they didn't fail to show us that the selfie station was inside a mall. The selfie station was inside a mall, y'all. The inside of the selfie station was nice. But imagine getting dressed up for an event, getting ready to film a TV show, and you walking y'all, I can't even tell y'all the last time I've been to a mall. I can't, because it feels like they tore all of them down. But y'all know when you go to the mall, you walking at least a quarter of a mile from the parking lot into the AC just for you to get inside. And then everybody else is wearing jeans and t-shirts because they just trying to go to Victoria's Secret. They just trying to go to H&M. You wearing this long ball gown, red lipstick, heels to walk around the corner and to go to an event at a selfie station. Production, y'all did y'all's thing by showing the inside of the mall whenever Winter was leaving. I was like, that is too funny. And I would have been mad as hell too if I had to dress up, walk from the mall parking lot, walk inside the mall with everybody else on a whole different page than me, and they looking at me like, where the hell is she going? Okay, so finally, y'all, in this last scene, we see Irena and Jamie, and they go to their investment property. They both are giving each other a hard time, and they both mad about certain things that they don't really want to say what they're mad about. They keep making these passive-aggressive jokes in front of their business partners. And then finally, at the end, once their business partners leave, we find out the real reason why they were mad at each other. Come to find out, Jamie was working at the club last night. Irena showed up to the club because it was her best friend's birthday party. And when she pulled up and asked Jamie to come outside, he started yelling at her in front of everybody and said, "What the hell are you doing?" Irena was embarrassed because people were looking at her like, who is that? Is he yelling? Oh, that's his wife. Let me tell you what I think happened. What I think happened, and Jamie denies all this, that he wasn't yelling. There was a misunderstanding about why she was pulling the car up. But ultimately, regardless of what he was yelling at you about, I think Jamie was showing out. I think Jamie got girls at the club. I think Jamie was trying to lightweight act like he didn't like you. I think Jamie was trying to talk to you like you was somebody off the street because the girls were watching, which is exactly why Irena, you heard somebody say, is that his wife? So Irena was embarrassed and she ended up leaving and going home, and she was crying and she said, "You made me miss my best friend's birthday." So, Irena, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. You should have watched your ass in the club because you probably would have seen the little girl he was showing out for. You would have seen the young girl he was showing out for in the club, and that's why he was talking to you like you was just somebody off of the street. But you don't want to know if he's playing you, keep it on the low. You don't want to know. So I hate to see it, but that was pretty much it for Love and Marriage DC. Y'all go ahead, like the video, and then we're going to get into Love and Marriage Huntsville, which is the final of the triathlon. I'm damn near out of breath, okay? We're going to get to Love and Marriage Huntsville. So y'all like the video up, and we're going to move on. All right, y'all. Both of these shows were pretty entertaining. Love and Marriage Huntsville now. The best part, honestly, I'm going to be real with y'all. The best part was the beginning. And then the end of it kind of was just like, Y'all tell me if y'all agree. If y'all agree, let me know in the comments. The best part of Love and Marriage Huntsville was the beginning with Keke and Tisha. And then the last part was, I guess. So if y'all seen the previews for part 2 of Love and Marriage Huntsville, they kept showing Keke acting like she was going to spill some tea on Marceau. That was this episode. And whenever she finally got ready to say it, she stopped. And I was mad. Say it with your chest, Keke. I mean, they done told your business, allegedly, with their chest. Tell theirs. I'm here for it. We want to hear. The people want to know. Don't hold nothing back. So the episode starts off where it left, and we're at Wanda's food tasting event for them nasty ass looking potatoes. Everybody says they look good. I saw them. I beg to differ in my Bernard voice. And Keke shows up, and her cousin Tisha, they try to play it cute because you know they're the successful ones in the family. Okay, Keke has the house. I mean, Keke has the house, but she's not a full-time cast member. Keke is getting TV time. Tisha has the husband, has the house, they have money, everything's perfect except for maybe your husband cheating and you want to look the other way. But these two are Hollywood of the family. So they play it cute. And Keke says, oh, you look beautiful. And Tisha says, you do too. Thank you. Keke says, I called you. Tisha said, oh, really? I didn't get a phone call from you. I didn't get a phone call from you. Sierra, this is the comment right here. I'm homegirls. Sierra says, I wish they would say what was said to the Holtz. It's upsetting me and my homegirls. Okay? Because if you was beefing at that wedding, you should have been beefing at that wedding. Who the hell? I can't. I'm homegirls. It's upsetting me. So Tisha says, oh, I didn't know you called. And Keisha says, yeah, you did. Tisha says, well, how do you know that? And she says, because I know I called. So Tisha says, here's my problem. My problem is if you were at Mel's sleepover that I was not invited to, anytime you're in the company of other people and they're talking about your cousin, they're talking about your family, you should end all conversation and say, my cousin's not here to defend herself. Easier said than done, Tisha. We've seen you act very fake too. Okay. I think they should just let bygones be bygones. You talk shit about her, she talks shit about you amongst other people. Let bygones be bygones. But y'all, the reason why Tisha is so triggered is because she's dead set on holding the Holtz responsible for destroying her marriage or trying to destroy her marriage. Can somebody expeditiously find out who it is that's trying to destroy Tisha's marriage? Because I'm tired of hearing her running into the damn ground. It's your husband. Okay? Even if somebody's actively trying to destroy your marriage, Tisha, your husband is entertaining the bullshit, which is why none of this can be laid to rest. Take it up with your husband. The same way they say you don't take it up with nobody outside your marriage, you take it up with your husband. Take it up with your husband. Okay? So basically, Keke says, well, you know, it wasn't the way that you're making it seem. Why would you allow your husband to bring out my business in front of the Holtz? Y'all, this is the first time that I'm hearing that it was actually Marceau who told the business. This whole time, I was thinking that it was Tisha who was telling the business to the Holtz. It was really Marceau. So Keke, we doing all this because Marceau decided to go tell your business. Y'all are one and the same. Okay, y'all really are. So Keke says that I was hurt. I was hurt that you brought that out 5-10 years ago. That was my private information. And at this point, y'all, we see Marceau and we see Keke's husband talking it out because they was damn near about to fight because Marceau was getting out of line. Marceau was so disrespectful to Keke that I sat there and in the first 20 seconds of the episode, I was like, damn, where is Keke's husband? Is he not going to step in? Because I probably would have put them paws on him. Mine would have, okay? He would have put them paws on him. You got one too many times to curse at somebody's wife like that and not have nothing be said. So I'm glad that Keke's husband finally stepped up and said something. But you could tell he didn't want to make the issue worse than what it was, which is why I think everything was delayed. But anyway, we see the two men over there talking. And Marcel's trying to laugh it off or whatever. And Bernard comes over and Bernard says, I'm glad that y'all was able to talk it out. And Marcel says, Bernard, shut the fuck up. And I died laughing because I'm like, Bernard cannot catch a break because Bernard keeps involving himself in things that he has no business in. Delia says, did Tisha shut Kaiwa up when she was talking about how Kimmy keep her and Maurice from reconciling? Ain't Kimmy and Tisha sisters? Oh, this the comment. This the comment right here. Did Tisha go up for her family when Kyle was basically calling Kimmy a side chick or a homewrecker? Not that I know of. So anyway, the ladies start finger pointing and yelling. Keke is finger pointing first. Tisha is putting her hands in her face. They start calling each other bitches down to the family event. You don't do that. You don't do that. So anyway, Wanda ends up running over. And Wanda, this is the most wise that I think we've ever seen her act before. Wanda must already be loaded up on bingo chips and pump it up spray because she was not trying to get any extra chips for the drama tonight. Okay? Wanda was not trying to reveal any other mess. So she runs over and she says it was wrong for Keke to bring the drama. Keke then says, but that was my personal business that they told. And Marceau says, the whole city knew. They saw you. You say it was your personal business, but it wasn't your business. And he basically said that it was it was his responsibility to tell the Holtz. And if he didn't and he were in their shoes, he would be upset. Y'all, what the hell is it? Every single episode we talk about this, I tell y'all that I think that it was bed bugs. And then other people say that it wasn't bed bugs. What was it? Look at him. He tired of it too. Herc, that is how tired we are of Tisha saying that somebody is destroying her marriage. I feel you on that, Herc. I really do. So anyway, y'all, he says they saw you. So that's part of the reason why I feel like it's probably not bed bugs. Because if it was bed bugs, nobody would be able to see it on you. So I'm starting to wonder, is it drugs? Is it a DUI? What was it? I don't understand what it was. I gotta cover him. Herc, you're distracting me. I can't. Okay, let me finish this review. I know you tired of Tisha and Marceau and they bullshit, but I gotta finish this review, Herc. Okay, so I don't know what it was. Okay, but obviously it was something that could be seen. And I don't know if that was something that could be seen physically or if somebody saw her committing an action. I don't know. But at this point in time, y'all might as well just tell us, okay? Just tell us. So anyway, Keke then says, okay, well, if you want to share some of my business, I can tell y'all's. Remember when Marceau and everybody ran over and said, no, wait. And she says, when Marceau, and then all of a sudden, Wanda runs over and she wants them to calm down. Amin jumps in finally. And then Keke, she says, I don't know what everybody's talking about, but I don't see it the way that y'all do. I don't see that Mel is hating or Mel is trying to ruin your relationship. And Marceau is trying to make her feel like she's stupid. Marceau is trying to gaslight her into making her believe that Mel is the reason for all of the poverty in the world. Mel is the reason for all the unhappiness in the world. And Marceau is going back to that because that's what him and Tisha do. So Keke and Marceau both say that not Keke, Tisha and Marceau are both saying that Keke is being used. And then who runs over? Pump it up spray. Pump It Up spray and potatoes runs over and she says, hey, everybody, I'm going to end this thing right now. If y'all want to keep arguing. No, Wanda. This is what you go up for. Okay? This is what pays your bingo cards every week. This is what you give the beauty supply store when you go and you buy your spritz and your Pump It Up. This is usually what you live for. When it's the Holtz, when it's Kimmy and Maurice, you live for the drama. But because you think or you don't know, you're unsure if if Keke actually has some tea on Marceau, you want to protect your daughter. So that lets me know, y'all, as many times as Wanda has come on this TV show to act like she wants to catch Marceau in something, she doesn't. Marceau, she doesn't. Marceau could do anything, and she is moving to the beat of Tisha's drum. Wanda comes on and does this for shits and giggles, for a check, for bingo checks. But if it ever comes a day that some real shit is going to be revealed, Wanda don't want nobody to know that, which is why she was trying to stop Keke from talking. Because as bad as Wanda seems, she knows there's a stopping point. But she didn't know if Keke was mad enough to actually stop herself from revealing some information on Marceau. So anyway, y'all, we move on from that scene. The rest of this review should be pretty straightforward because not shit else happened. We move on from that scene. So we see Kimmy and Destiny. Destiny is still talking about Stormy. She's saying she doesn't know where things went wrong. Kimmy then holds her accountable and she says, well, Sweetie was a little passive aggressive, but she should have gave you a measurement of grace. Kimmy, I've never disagreed with you more. This entire season, I usually agree with what Kimmy does, but this entire season, I've never disagreed with you more, Kimmy. Destiny was absolutely passive aggressive whenever she called her Sweetie. I don't think that Stormy avoided giving her a measurement of grace. I think Stormy respectfully told her, I'm not your sweetie. Don't call me that. So what do you mean measurement of grace, Kimmy? Y'all tell me. I think that was pretty graceful. If she wasn't being graceful, she could have went right back to cussing her ass out. Okay. So now, y'all, we see her talking about Mel. Destiny then goes from talking about Stormy to talking about Mel. And when she does, she basically says that their relationship has come to the end of the road and that it hurts because they matched each other's pain and they went through so much together. And it was very much giving Misery Loves Company. I don't think that I ever want to build a trauma bond with someone because our pain match each other. And I think that's what Destiny was saying. And that goes back to a lot of the thought that I was having whenever Mel was at the video shoot at the end of last season. Mel was moving on from her pain. She was moving on. She was distancing herself from Destiny because she started to see Destiny moving kind of funny. Destiny got kind of nervous and knew that she was losing accessibility. So because Mel didn't seem to be in that miserable space that y'all had each other's company in, that started to bother you. So that absolutely matches with what you're saying to Kimmy now, which was that y'all matched each other's pain. So we'll move on from that scene to Tiffany and Lewis. I'm thoroughly disappointed that they didn't show more of Utah, Alabama. Y'all got me invested in finding Tiffany's daddy and y'all just cut it short. Y'all just showed her in Utah and then showed her talking to the man at the barbershop and then that was it. Who's her daddy? I hope you bring him on the reunion. I want to know. Don't get me involved in no storyline if I'm not going to be able to find out who the girl daddy is, okay? And if she was actually born in 1987, because we need to know. So anyway, now we see Martell and Melnika at the park, and they're discussing this trip to Atlanta. He says he wants to have a sexy, intimate dinner. So that's just to get us hyped up about what the guys are going to do in Atlanta. Now, finally, y'all, we see Marceau and Tisha, and they're having coffee. And after all the drama went down in the previous scene that we saw them in, we see them having a wholesome coffee date. Tisha comes with a slick back. Her and Marceau are joking. He's rubbing her on the shoulder, acting like he actually likes her. And they're doing a lot of playing with us this season. They're doing a lot of trying to change the optics that they've already put in concrete. You've already done this. You've already worked 3 to 4 seasons to show us that you care more about keeping your wife in a gray space than keeping her reassured. Tisha has showed us that she's been insecure because you won't reaffirm her. You won't reaffirm the rumors. So it's so funny to me that y'all are trying so hard to change these optics that y'all brought to us in the first damn place. So they're having a wholesome coffee. And, you know, they're talking to each other all sweetly. And Marceau basically says it's a no to the truck. And finally, they move on to talking about Keke. And Marceau says that it was his responsibility to tell the Holtz what he knew about Keke. Now, I don't want to hear y'all mention this not another damn time if y'all not going to tell us what the hell was said about Keke. If you're not going to tell us what was said, then leave it. Get away from me with this, Apollo. I don't need to hear it. So Tisha says, you know, I was hurt. Keke was like my sister. And he says, well, you should be hurt because imagine if your best friend in the world, your cousin, crossed you. That'd be weird if you didn't feel some type of way. So she says, Marceau, can you just do one thing? If I ask you a serious question, will you please answer the question seriously? And he says, well, can you do this for me? Don't ask me questions that I think is disrespectful. For example, a question that he thought was disrespectful was whenever Tisha asked him if he delivered a bottle of wine to Mel. I didn't think the question was disrespectful. I thought the question was stupid as fuck. Only because my thing is just like, and what if he did deliver a bottle of wine to Mel? That whole situation last season just reeked of insecurity, reeked of jealousy, because you would think that we were talking about another woman. He was handling business and he could have delivered the bottle of wine to her doorstep, but because it was Mel, you felt away. And it said more to me about you than it said about anybody else, Tisha. So I understood the oddness of that. But I'm also smart enough to see that Martell is bringing up your wildest inquiry to make it seem like everything you mentioned after that is make-believe because he still doesn't want to answer your questions truthfully. He's still giving you the lawyer runaround. He's Lisa Blooming the situation and you are falling for it. So I hate to see it. So I'm like, okay, fine. Good point. So finally, y'all, we see Kimmy and Mel meet up in this second to last picture. And this is another reason why I was like, Kimmy, I'm so done. I am so done with you, Kimmy. I'm about done with you, pretty close to how I'm done with Tisha this season. We just gonna have to start over, Kimmy. We do. Just because, y'all give me a hot second. Okay, I'm back. I'm done with Kimmy. Just because she showed up at this brunch not to sit down and talk to her friend, but she showed up to this brunch with Mel on behalf of Destiny. And that's what gets your ass cussed out. That's what will get you cut off, is whenever you show up to things on behalf of somebody else. When you discuss me with somebody else and then come back to me on behalf of them. That's why Tiffany was about to get cut off, because she was discussing Martell. Okay? Destiny was discussing both Mel, both Martell, and then she would show up to the other spouse on behalf of the other one, which absolutely could be seen as problematic. And that would raise questions of if I could really trust you. So, Kimmy, you're next on the chopping block. You're next. Don't show up. Don't invite me nowhere on behalf of Destiny if you only want to see things from her point of view. It was very much given, Mel, please be her friend again. So anyway, what happened was Kimmy says, I love that you stopped to check on Destiny at the Galentine's event whenever she was about to get into that squat with Stormy. And Mel starts having this look on her face, this very dry look. And the reason why Mel was looking like that is because it was at that moment that Mel knew that Kimmy decided to come to brunch on bullshit. Like, oh, I've told you how I felt about Destiny, and yet you want to show up as Destiny's representative, and you want to continue to have these conversations whenever I already told you how I felt. So Kimmy says, why are you giving me that look? I mean, that means you care about her, right? Why are you giving me that look? And Mel says, I'm not giving you that look because of that. I'm giving you that look. I just want to say what I did speaks to the character of Mel. That has nothing to do with me still caring for her. If there's anybody who I see and they're going through something or something bad is happening or they could be out of character, I don't want anything bad to happen to them unless they did anything to absolutely wrong me. We've seen that Memorial Day weekend. Mel was sitting in the car and she still got out the car to try to calm her ex-husband down. So yes, that stands true to exactly what she said. So then Kimmy says, well, you know that she doesn't have a village. You know that she came here basically with nobody and all she had was you. Kimmy, if you so pressed for this girl to have a village, you be, or should I say you be her motherfucking village. Be her village. Okay? Because it only looks good for a little bit that you're trying to be the facilitator. And then after a while, it looks like you're not making anything better. If Mel told you that she is done with this girl, let her be done with the girl and you mind your business. You continue to be friends with Destiny as you please, but that has nothing to do with Mel. And Jonetta, I'm right here with you. I'm tired of the village talk because it's code. It's code for accessibility. We talked about that last season. We asked Destiny in an interview what she meant by a village. She couldn't explain it thoroughly. She said it was two things she wanted from her, which was support and accountability or emotional support, something like that. Okay. Two things that are not tangible. So you're telling me you're not arguing about things that are like tangible or things that could actually be done. A village? What are you talking about? And Kimmy, not knowing the ins and outs of their relationship, goes and blindly repeats that, getting into some mess that she really didn't need to get into. And that's where they got me messed up. I'm tired of it. So finally, y'all, in the next scene, that's exactly what I said. Kimmy, go be her village. That's exactly what I said. Mel should have said, what the hell do they have to do with me? Okay? And I think that's what she was trying to avoid saying. So finally, y'all, we see the men get on the bus to go to Atlanta. You see the two Scott brothers, Marcel, Maurice. You see Martell, of course, because it's his wine tasting event. And then you see Big Lou. And all of them really come across with this fake ass, oh, I'm so innocent. Martell is talking about what's going to go down in Atlanta. They're going to have an intimate dinner. He wants to go to the strip club. He wants some ass looking. He wants to look at the strippers. And Maurice says, nah, keep that same energy, okay? We saw y'all in the club with the pictures that Ariane took. Ariane said y'all was at the Airbnb. You was allegedly with the linebacker. Nah, don't act like the pure mention of a strip club has you shaking in your boots, because if the cameras weren't around, you would really be about that life, would you not? You would. You would. So I'm like, y'all, keep that same energy. They are fake uncomfortable, and then they're joking with Lewis, and they say, no pillow talk, Big Lou. So I'm I can't wait to see next week. They showed the previews. It looks like the men are going to be having a good time. They got a bunch of random ladies from a casting call to come eat dinner with them to make it seem like it was really going to be some mess, but it's really not going to be any mess because everything's going to be on TV. Everything's going to be recorded. And y'all know they've been playing the game too long. They're not going to get caught up doing anything on camera. If they get caught up, it will be off camera. And at this point, because the wives, this TV show actually has helped them, if I have to be real with y'all. Before the show, if they were cheating, we wouldn't know about it. Nobody would call the wives naive. Nobody would call the wives an idiot. Now that they are on the show, if they do get caught cheating, the wives now, and either they want to admit to it or not, they feel some type of responsibility for what their husbands do, because America won't just say, damn, I feel bad for Tisha. Damn, I feel bad for Kimmy. They're going to feel the need to not only protect the mess that their husbands are doing, but they're going to feel the need to protect their peace, because they don't want to hear from the internet about how dumb they are for not leaving, whether or not they choose to leave or stay. Lots of women stay in relationships after being cheated on. And I feel like viewers would not give them that grace to do so if their husbands were on TV. So at this point in time, y'all, I don't think we're going to find anything out about them cheating unless one of the side chicks come forward with just some type of concrete evidence. But other than that, these wives are going to do everything they can to protect them husbands as well as protect that peace. Okay. But that's pretty much it, y'all. For next week, we're going to see them go down to Atlanta. We're going to see the men act a fool. As far as the ladies, I don't really know what's going on with the ladies next week. But we have made it to the finish line. We have made it to the finish line talking about what is show? Oh my gosh, y'all. I've been on live too long. We made it to the finish line talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville as well as Love and Marriage DC, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the conversation. If y'all did, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Do not forget to hit the like button. And I will see y'all in the next video. Y'all be sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter as well, so we can keep up with each other there. And if y'all see some tea that y'all want to kiki about, y'all make sure to let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.